Hey, good morning. Today is December 16th. My name is Todd Miller. It is a Wednesday, middle of the month. I want to give you an update to what's going on in the Las Vegas real estate market because some interesting news just came out. Now, keep in mind this is national news, so every market's different, but there is a specific effect here for us in Las Vegas with this news. Well, the news was essentially that a lot of the banks and a lot of the analysts said 2010 is going to be a year of rising foreclosures. What was referenced in the article specifically was this thing called a shadow inventory. And what a shadow inventory is it's inventory of houses not yet on the market because they haven't finished the process. And there's a lot of uncertainty with that because we don't know what's going to happen to those houses. They could go into default, get foreclosed, come back on the market as an REO. They could go into default, get foreclosed. The neighborhood stabilization program could grab them and pull them out of that pool, so buyers wouldn't necessarily see them. They could just go into default and then keep getting the sale date getting postponed, and that's what we're seeing now. There were approximately 50,000 postponements so far this year, just here in Clark County. Keep in mind some of those were repeat offenders. They had been postponed and then postponed, so you might have one property been postponed 3 or 4 times. We have a property that we've been sort of keeping our eye on that a year ago we got it as a, hey, we're going to foreclose on this in 45 days. And then they just contacted us again and say, okay, we're going to foreclose again in 45 days. So there's a lot of these properties that have been sitting around that are going to hit the market this year. Right now, the only banks with significant inventory are Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. They are continuing to put properties on the marketplace. So being familiar with the process procedures of how those banks operate is going to be good right now. But keep in mind that there's still going to be some REO inventory coming out to the market. Now, you're probably going, well, wait a minute, so why aren't they foreclosing? Well, there's 2 reasons. First of all, this first big wave we had in 2007, 2008, and the beginning of this year was the first wave of foreclosures. The reason it was the first wave is because what that was the subprime market. That was all the crazy 2-year, $2,000 a month payment, but then it's going to jump to $4,000, and those all popped, basically, okay? And what that did is that collapsed the market. Now, the second wave is going to be a steadier, even, just flow of properties probably for the next couple years. And the reason is this. Let's say you bought a house when market values were pretty normal. You didn't get a crazy loan. You got a, 20% down loan. You paid, $250 for the house. You put $50,000 down. You have a loan for $200. Well, what happened is, because the subprime market collapsed and killed values, that house is only worth $120. Well, even though you were doing what you thought was right, putting 20% down on a $250,000 property, well, it's only worth $120. So you owe $200, you're $80,000 upside down. Hey, guess what? Unless you got $80,000, and most people don't, and they're going to foreclose, they're just going to let it go. They're going to try short sale or just walk or just say, forget it, we blew it, it was a bad decision. And that's the next extreme. We're talking about traditional A-paper type loans that are getting foreclosed. Now, some numbers. Last month, 1 in every 119 households got a notice of default filing. That is a lot of filings. Second is that 2/3 of all homes in Nevada are upside down. 2/3 owe more than the house is worth. Now, keeping in mind that what we're seeing is on the back end of that, a lot of cash buyers are coming and buying the REO. So we have 2 scenarios. Somebody either has this loan they got 3 or 4 years ago and they're upside down, or they've bought a home within the last year or 2 and paid cash. That's great for the long term because, hey, those cash buyers can't get foreclosed. This is really, this is sort of taking a bath. The market is taking a bath. We are going to emerge out of this a really strong market. The bottom end has sort of stopped and firmed up. That middle and upper end is still teetering, and we will see as the next year or 2 progress what happens there. It looks like there's still potentially some downside on the high end, million and above, because of all the inventory that's still out there. So anyway, I thought I'd just give you an update, tell you sort of what the forecast is for next year. We still have a large supply of homes. We have about 200 right now that we're constantly, every day as we sell them, we get new ones from Fannie, Freddie, and a couple other banks. We do expect more inventory beginning of this year. Most of my clients have been telling me, hey, be ready, March, April, basically end of first quarter, beginning of second quarter. we're going to start sending out a bunch of properties. If you got any questions, you've got my contact information. You can just send me a message through YouTube, and that is the update for this month. I hope everybody has a good Christmas and great New Year's. Thanks a lot.